The flashback, a classic narrative storytelling device present in literature, television, film, and theater. A flashback can give us a window into the past or propel us into the future. On the surface, a good flashback sequence is effortless, but how does this function? Moreover, how can something as simple as a single picture edit convey something as significant as memory, tone, and trauma? My name is Evan Schrodeck, and I'm a professional film and television editor with a fascination for genre horror, and this is the Incision Point. Playing off the style and structure of the novel, early filmmakers would often enter and exit a flashback in the same way. A sequence quieted down. Joan Crawford or Betty Davis said, "I remember." The camera moved in on her entranced face. An eerie time music saturated the soundtrack. The audience knew what to expect. They were entering into a memory, a clear-cut vision into the past. While not absolute, I find the use of flashback in genre horror works to build mystery, suspense, and an overall subversion of narrative clarity. In these films, memory regularly presents as impressionistic and fragmented. As a viewer, we're offered an unsteady path on which to follow our protagonists into the unknown. One stark example is the 1964 film The Pawnbroker. The film tells the story of a Holocaust survivor coping with his past. In his autobiography, film editor Ralph Rosenblum stated that, "During the months we edited The Pawnbroker, there was a constant atmosphere of experimentation, with attendant feelings of excitement and doubt. We knew from personal experience that memories, especially unpleasant ones, are not engaged in by a voluntary swan dive into the past. They intrude in flashes." Throughout the cut, editorial experimentation is on full display.
What can I do for you?
In one particularly haunting exchange,
What do you want?
a young woman attempts to pawn her wedding ring.
My diamond engagement ring. I want to borrow.
It's glass.
During this, we're given abstract glimpses of hands along a fence line. The duration of each flash grows as the full memory comes flooding back.
You said it was real?
For filmgoers of the 1960s, this was a dynamic, new portrayal of personal trauma. Although these films are horror adjacent, I find the techniques are universal and work across genres. Two recent examples stand out to me, one of which being the 2011 film Marcy, Martha, May, Marlene. We're with Martha in present day as she reflects upon the last few years of her life. Throughout the film, she confronts the trauma she endured while immersed in an unnamed cult. With long takes interrupted by dynamic transitions.
You look like a Marcy May.
Marcy was my grandmother's name.
Wow. There you go.
The structure and intentionality of these cuts lends itself to a life coming back into focus.
I'm going in. Do you want to join?
Sure. You coming? In a minute.
In this, there exists an overwhelming sense of unease and tension. Graphical matches on both halves of the edit serve as an elegant handoff between present day and the recent past.
Excuse me. I can finish this if you want to go to bed.
I don't mind.
Why don't you get some sleep?
What do I have to do?
A physical action sparks memory. A fleeting look sends us back in time.
Marcy, you don't eat until they're finished. You know better. I know, sorry, Katie.
Who's Katie?
What?
All while more ambiguous transitions leave us feeling intentionally disoriented. On my first viewing, I was struck by one cut in particular. Early in the film, Martha wakes from sleep, and she does not know where she is. As a viewer, we're caught off guard and must take a moment to orient ourselves. What timeline are we in? Are we safe? This subtle, hanging question is used to create a persistent tone of dread throughout the entire film.
Ham and eggs, pork and beans. I would have had more boys, but the cook was so mean. I'm gonna roll in a hurry, 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 to make it on the side of the road. If I had known my captain was blind, when it come to
In the
work,
2011 film, we need to talk about Kevin. Memory is not always truthful. Eva's recollections are warped through a lens of personal trauma. In this, her memories of motherhood present as heightened, horrific, and at times darkly comedic.
Hey, Dad, how's work? Taking you cool pictures?
The overall effect is disarming. We're kept on unsteady ground throughout the film, which I suppose ultimately is the point.
Hey, Eva.
Early in the film, we're shuffled between past and present, between an obstinate young Kevin and a prison visit.
E is for elephant, large as a house, as big as can be, not small like a mouse. Can you say elephant, Kevin? Elephant? Elephant.
Director Lynn Ramsey uses elliptical cuts, sound, and a piece of music pulled from Eva's travels abroad. Her life before Kevin.
Mommy?
No.
We crash land back in the present.
No.
A long take of Eva at her desk late at night, reflecting on a life that has brought her to this point.
Open it!
While working as an editor, how does one apply these ideas to their own work? And what can we learn from these examples? While editing Season 9 of The Walking Dead, I had the opportunity to explore memory and trauma in a unique way.
Found them wandering not far from here.
When I received the footage for this sequence, the first thing I did was pull and assemble my selects. Then I stacked my favorites for each action beat in the scene. During this process, I tried to see if there was some sort of graphical match between the past and the present.
You can all come back to Alexandria. We'll take care of you now.
Kill all of our children. The rest of you are with me.
With something like this, I won't even cut with sound. We call it MOS, where the early draft of the scene is completely mute, and I'm simply looking for visual similarities and feeling for a dynamic between shots. Once I have that, I build upon it with sound and score. I think this scene was very specific to Michonne as a character, and I let her point of view drive the kinds of shots I chose. We wanted that very visceral, heady release. She's passing through a really horrible moment in a frenetic, exhaustive, cathartic kind of way. When you're in the cutting room, it's not just how do we put something together that's cool and visceral, it's how does this support character? How does this support the story? As editor, it's our job to be the shepherd for the viewer.